thought it was a bitch move. I really did.
Have you spoken?
I would never. If you chin someone at a presser, if you do that, it's different. But when you
An example of Jake Paul. Did you call Jed right now? Yeah.
True news, Jake Paul has been arrested.
We got him, guys.
Yeah.
We got the guy that did the serious thing.
Breaking. Jake Paul got himself arrested after causing a scene with Anthony Joshua's team. His reckless behavior and inability to control his temper led to a public brawl, showing once again that he lacks respect, discipline, and understanding of the sport's rules.
You know, that we don't know about. That's really, really rattled him for him to think of and plan doing something like that.
Yeah, because we see things happen in...
Jake Paul's arrest highlights his ongoing inability to manage conflict and think ahead. Clashing with Anthony Joshua's team was reckless and predictable. Instead of focusing on his career, he continually puts himself in situations that damage his reputation and show he is not serious about boxing.
That, you know, he get that straightened out and he get back to focus on his family and his career.
It is funny, really, because Jake Paul keeps making strange and reckless decisions that put him in trouble. Wonder why he would act like this, knowing the consequences. His actions against Anthony Joshua's team were completely avoidable and show poor judgment.
Really, yeah.
Wonder why you would do that.
Strange, isn't it?
Probably the guy's just a fucking...
While some fans might enjoy the chaos, Jake Paul's antics are exactly what the sport does not need. Everybody wants to see a fight, but this is drama created by a fighter who cannot behave professionally. His arrest just proves he cannot control situations.
But I do feel it's maybe what the sport doesn't need, and yet many people are saying, no, it's great, you watch it. Everybody wants to go to that.
Tom Little is clearly skeptical about Jake Paul's abilities. He points out that while Jake isn't completely useless, his performances so far don't inspire confidence. Everyone is waiting to see if he can truly handle the pressure against someone like Anthony Joshua.
If he's a real, I'm not saying he can't fight, I'm not saying he's rubbish, I'm not saying he's useless, but we will see how good he is. And if I'm right in what I'm saying, he'll quit.
Jack Catterall highlights how Jake Paul is out of his depth compared to professional fighters. Weight classes exist for a reason, and Jake is clearly pushing boundaries without proper preparation. This shows he's taking unnecessary risks, and it won't end well against a seasoned athlete like Anthony Joshua.
You know what? Everybody's weight situation and weight making situation is unique to them. There's weight classes for a reason. I know some people are going to two extreme lengths. I don't know. I can't comment on it. I wish him to be safe and well, like I wish every fighter. But that's their business.
Paul Smith's reaction shows the world isn't taking Jake Paul seriously. His antics, while laughable to some, highlight how reckless and immature he is. Laughing off his own arrest and confrontation with Anthony Joshua's team proves he doesn't grasp the gravity of the situation.
Expect that from Chisora. I'm not going to lie, when it happened, I laughed my head off. I absolutely laughed my head off.
I did too.
I thought it was quite poetic. I thought what happened was quite fun.
Adam Smith perfectly sums up the chaos that Jake Paul has created. His reckless behavior at the head-to-head shows he has zero respect for the sport or Anthony Joshua's team. Anthony Joshua, calm and composed, continues to build his reputation, while Jake Paul only adds drama and embarrassment, making himself look like an amateur who doesn't belong in professional boxing circles. The entire scene reinforces why Anthony Joshua is a true champion, and why Jake Paul's antics are nothing but a sideshow.
Price is big for the casual fans. Do we condone it? I mean, in boxing terms, should that happen at a head-to-head? Of course not, but these things do happen. This is the fight business, and it's just made it even bigger, and we wait to see what happens next.
Jake Paul claiming he will sue after being confronted by Anthony Joshua's team just shows how far removed he is from reality. Instead of taking responsibility for his own reckless actions, he threatens legal action. Anthony Joshua remains focused and professional, proving once again why he is a respected figure in boxing. Jake Paul's ego and lack of discipline only make him look foolish and underprepared for any serious fight. While Anthony Joshua's calm and measured approach keeps him steps ahead of this overhyped YouTuber.
I'm probably going to sue them one day.
To a class. Frank Warren's criticism of Jake Paul is brutal, but fair. He compares Jake Paul to a car crash, attracting attention for all the wrong reasons. Anthony Joshua stands in stark contrast, disciplined and professional, showing why he commands respect in boxing. Jake Paul thrives on chaos and hype rather than skill or strategy. And this incident proves that his rise is built on spectacle, not talent. Fans and insiders are already questioning his legitimacy, while Anthony Joshua continues to show that true champions earn their place in the ring through hard work, not stunts and drama.
Do it or not, this is a car crash, and people will watch it because that's what people do at car crashes, and that's what this is.
Eddie Hearn's words underline the reality that Jake Paul is out of his depth. His stubbornness and ignorance about the boxing business make him a liability and a joke in professional circles. Anthony Joshua, on the other hand, understands the sport, respects its rules, and continues to build his legacy without resorting to chaos. Jake Paul's arrogance and lack of knowledge make him a dangerous distraction, but it also exposes his weaknesses for the world to see. Anthony Joshua's team remains professional, and their composure only highlights Jake Paul's immaturity and inability to operate at this level.
Even he's stubborn and he doesn't understand what the business means to us. So, again, this is not something that we do often, but we're not fucking around here because
Garl Froch doesn't hold back and exposes Jake Paul for what he truly is. Anthony Joshua may not be at his absolute peak, but his skill, distance management, and punching accuracy far outclass Jake Paul, who has repeatedly proven he cannot compete with real fighters. Losing to Tommy Fury already showed his limitations, and this confrontation with Anthony Joshua's team only emphasizes his lack of maturity and technique. Anthony Joshua's professionalism and sharp boxing mind make Jake Paul look like an amateur playing a dangerous game he cannot win, cementing Joshua's status as the superior athlete.
Should happen. This is a one-round job because AJ, even though he's past his best, even though he's seen better days, he throws a nice 1-2 down the middle. He's got a nice bit of distance, and fake Paul can't fight. He just can't. I don't care what anybody tells me. He can't fucking fight. He lost to Tommy Fury, for crying out loud.
Anthony Joshua is clearly demonstrating why he is a top-level boxer. While Jake Paul bounces around in hype and chaos, Joshua is focused on strategy, skill, and experience. He plans to expose Jake Paul to techniques and tactics the YouTuber has never seen, showing his mental and physical superiority. This is not just about power, but about controlling the fight, testing Jake Paul's limits, and proving once again that a real champion's preparation far surpasses any stunts or overhyped antics. Anthony Joshua's approach makes Jake Paul's presence in the ring almost laughable.
I'm going to land heavy punches, and I'm going to make sure I'm going to expose him to certain tricks in boxing that he may not have seen yet, and I'm going to bring him to another school of boxing that I don't think he's been exposed to.
Connor Ben praises Anthony Joshua while inadvertently highlighting Jake Paul's inadequacy. Anthony Joshua's career, achievements, and punching power put immense pressure on anyone stepping into the ring with him, especially an inexperienced fighter like Jake Paul. This acknowledgement emphasizes Joshua's legacy and the respect he commands. Jake Paul may be loud and provocative outside the ring, but against a true professional like Anthony Joshua, all of his bravado falls flat. The contrast between Joshua's skill and Paul's overconfidence is stark and reinforces the narrative that Paul is in over his head and Anthony Joshua remains untouchable.
Grafter, he works hard, he ain't got to do it. He's taking on the hero of British boxing. He's the guy who's done it all, a massive puncher. you got to take your hat off.
Duke McKenzie lays bare the truth about Jake Paul's chances against Anthony Joshua. Jake Paul is a wannabe compared to the skill, experience, and discipline that Anthony Joshua brings. Joshua will never underestimate him, and his ability to read opponents will make Paul look vulnerable and unprepared. This is a clear mismatch between a trained, world-class athlete and someone relying on hype. Anthony Joshua's focus, power, and technique make the fight one-sided before it even begins. Jake Paul's lack of professional fundamentals will be exposed, reinforcing Joshua's dominance and reminding fans why he is considered a legitimate champion.
I don't think Anthony Joshua would take Jake Paul lightly any way, shape or form, and it'd be so easy to hit. You're talking about a trained athlete.
Johnny Nelson's insight indirectly criticizes Jake Paul's attitude. While Joshua remains focused and professional, Jake Paul thrives on drama, personal agendas, and attention-seeking behavior. Anthony Joshua's team exemplifies discipline and respect for the sport, highlighting Paul's immaturity and poor decision-making. Nelson's words remind viewers that opinions are informed by knowledge and skill, something Paul clearly lacks. Anthony Joshua operates with a clear plan and purpose, while Jake Paul is reactive and desperate for relevance. This reinforces the stark contrast between a seasoned champion and a flashy amateur who overestimates his abilities and underestimates the challenge before him.
When you walk away from this game, you understand everybody has an opinion, and it's a case of you don't have to have bad feeling or an agenda.
The breaking. Jake Paul arrested after brawl with Anthony Joshua's team. Story has exposed everything that is wrong with Jake Paul. While Anthony Joshua continues to demonstrate his focus, discipline, and boxing IQ, Jake Paul relies on chaos, hype, and poor decisions that landed him in handcuffs. This is not just about an arrest. It is a clear example of how a wannabe fighter cannot operate in the same space as a true champion. Anthony Joshua's team, experienced and professional, exposed Jake Paul's recklessness and lack of control, making the world see how unprepared he really is. Joshua continues to prove why he is a heavyweight legend and a true threat in the ring, while Paul struggles to maintain any credibility. The mental strength, preparation, and respect for boxing separate Joshua from Paul completely. Are you backing Anthony Joshua to dominate and teach Jake Paul a lesson? Or do you think Jake Paul will shock the world? Drop your thoughts below.